Hey, welcome. I'm really glad that you're here with me. And we're almost done with this book. There's just so much really great content in here that and by the way, I really hope you've been getting a lot of good information out of it. What I found is one of my favorite quotes, earners are learners, is so stinking accurate. They really is. I mean, let's face it, in order to earn income, you have to learn how to do your job, your task, your career. You don't just wake up one day knowing everything there is to know. It takes practice, it takes time to get there. And these are some of the best traits or characteristics of a superstar, top producer, elite champion level salesperson. Well, actually, person that I've ever found or seen in one simple, concise place. So I want to take things just a little out of order because I think that if we did that, for real estate anyway, it would make a lot more sense for us as realtors. You know, we have to be committed and we have to have discipline in everything that we do if we are committed to getting better. We have to have that discipline. And those two together, along with everything else that we've spoken about and will speak about, lends itself to trust and creating trust. And let's face it, people are attracted to agents, to salespeople. They're just attracted to other people that exhibit those characteristics. Are you someone that is committed to what you do, to being that professional, to being successful? If you're committed, it's going to come out in everything you do. If you have discipline, which is a double edged sword, but if you have discipline, you're going to do the things that you know need to get done, even on the days that you really don't feel like it. You have no idea the number of days that I would drag myself to the office, just couldn't, I didn't feel it. It just wasn't in me. I'd rather been doing anything else, but I was committed to being the best, to being successful. And so I did what I didn't want to have to do, especially on those days that I just didn't feel like doing it. Now, other days were awesome. I mean, I just couldn't wait to come in to do it, but it was just that because we're all going to have that occasional where we feel it's just a slog, right? Oh my gosh, snooze. The alarm goes off, snooze. And then finally, after about the third or fourth time, you're like, I got to get up. This just isn't working. Well, for me, it was never quite like that. I would beat the alarm in most every case. But we all have those days when you just feel like, I just don't feel like doing it today. So the question is, how committed are you? Truly, how committed are you to your own success, to getting better, to reaching your goal? And I just want to share with you something really quick out of this about commitment, about discipline, and where we're going, because trust really is crucial for us as real estate agents. We have to be able to convince that other person, that seller or that buyer, that they can trust us with one of the largest financial decisions of their entire lives. So trust is crucial, and how fast we can create trust with that individual. Now, what I'm referring to here, and we're going to get to in a moment, and you'll see, is not necessarily how to create trust in an instant, but it's all of the little things that go into creating trust with others. And if you can take that characteristic on, it kind of comes out of you in everything that you do. It sort of screams as well as whispers that you are a person that can be trusted. You have the discipline that it's going to take to get that property properly exposed and get it sold, put the absolute most money possible in that person's pocket, and that you have the commitment, the follow through that they're looking for. You are the professional that they've been looking for. Because let's face it, if you're not a professional, why would someone hire you? So you think of yourself as a professional, right? Yeah, good. And look, if not, please start thinking of yourself as a professional salesperson. So let's take a quick look at commitment. And this is a story that is relayed from a lady named Tracy, and I'm not going to pronounce her name correctly, I'm imagining, but it's Tracy Mazzoni. And she began her career at Merrill Lynch, working up from a position of managing director, or excuse me, from a new employee to earning the position of managing director, head of client management for Merrill Lynch. That takes a lot to be able to get to that position. That's extremely competitive in the financial resources business in that arena. So she fought to get to that goal, to reach the goal, to be there. She had an unfailing commitment to learning, to implementing, to her success, and providing the highest level of service possible to her customers and her clients. And so she said that she didn't want to lean on her title. She adds, though, that you have to bring your best self to work and show up every day like you are on a job interview and everyone is watching. See, I think that's 100% accurate because let's face it, when you are in the public, you're out running a trip to the grocery store, you're wherever you are. Okay, it could be going to a home improvement store, Home Depot, Lowe's. You could be at Walmart, Kroger, Safeway, Albertsons. You have to. You could be in Sears or Kohl's or J.C. Penney or a department store. You have to be aware that other people's eyes are on you. How do you act? How do you hold yourself? I mean, they may not know that you're a real estate agent. I'm not suggesting you have to have that big pin on your lapel or on your chest that says, that screams and shouts, "I'm a real estate agent." As a matter of fact, take that off. But that's just my opinion. So, how do you present yourself? Are you committed to putting your best face forward? And when you're talking with people, consider it as if it's a job interview. Because the reality of it is, you are asking that person to hire you, and you are applying for the job of being their real estate professional for them. So consider it and start treating it like a job interview. Because the reality of it is, yes, you are self-employed, but that's like just something in your head. Don't let it stay there and buy into that I'm self-employed, I do what I want. Anybody and everybody that's hired you to help them with their real estate needs is your new boss. I know it's one of those things that you probably never thought of it just like that, but that's the reality. Give that a moment to sink in. That person's your new boss. So doesn't it make sense to put your best foot forward on that interview, the listing appointment? Now, there's one thing that I think this kind of segues into, and that's discipline, because we have to be practicing this stuff every day. Lead generation, we've got to be doing that every day, or our pipeline, the number of appointments we're going to be going on is going to really drop, right? Or it's going to be inconsistent at best. We'll have some days, some weeks, some months, we've got a lot of appointments, we've got none. So we need to kind of be able to get that consistent or preferably growing, right? So, what are we doing every day? What disciplines are we doing and implementing every day in our lives, personal and business, that will have the impact and the result that we ultimately want? Bobby Knight said he defines discipline, which he, by the way, is a basketball coach. He was then the coach at Indiana. He said he defines discipline as doing what needs to be done when it needs to be done as well as it can be done and doing it that way all the time. I really like that quote because it's true. Whether somebody's looking at you, watching you or not, you are watching yourself. So do it the best way that you can possibly do it and do it consistently every time. Some of the things that the author brings up here, and I'm going to read a little bit of this to you because I think this is very, very appropriate. He said, success doesn't wait for anyone. It doesn't. It requires many, many disciplined decisions. He refers to them as success decisions. He says, and he brings up a question: are you disciplined enough to do the work on the days you don't feel up to it? I mean, look, guys, gals, we're self employed. So if we come to the office or not, no big deal, right? But if your schedule says this is what I want to achieve, you kind of need to be there, even on those days you don't necessarily feel like it, so that you can reach those goals. It's like that great quote, right? That great quote that says, I'm willing to do today what others aren't, so I can have in the future what others can't. Does that make sense? Great. He says the great ones do. And one of the most important disciplines they have is their daily routine. Getting up in the morning at a certain time, going to bed at a certain time, and everything in the meantime, in the middle, doing at certain times. They have a practice routine. They have a game day routine. They have a sleep routine. They eat at the same time on game day. They read at the same time. Routine is the daily discipline that is needed for success. Absolutely spot on accurate. Discipline says no to easy and yes to whatever it is that needs to be done to succeed and fulfill one's capabilities. That's literally the last sentence in that chapter. That is really a great, great quote. Now, you see, I've been building up to, and told you I was going to build up to this idea of trust. And it's true. Trust is so critical in any endeavor where, and as he says here, groups of people are working together. And even if it's you and your client, well, that's still a group, right? So if it's the two of y'all together, trust is critical to that endeavor. There has to be an unwritten understanding that everyone will do their job to the best of their ability every time, every day. They have to trust in you to do what you've said you were going to do and to look out for their best interest, to tell them the truth, to help guide them through that process, looking out for their best interest, not your own. You have to trust them to be honest, up front, and truthful with you as to their motivations, why they're selling the property, the loan amount. They're going to take care of maintenance home inspection items that pop up. I almost went into property management mode and maintenance and repair. Sorry, I just bought a small 10-unit building a couple of days ago. And I was just thinking of all the things that need to be done. What Kevin is saying here is spot on accurate. Are you someone that is worthy of their trust? Now, I think so, but you have to make sure that everything that you're doing conveys that message to them. See, what he says here is trust is built through the accumulation of words and actions. But most importantly, it's not the words you speak, it's the actions you take and the intentions behind these actions that create the trust. So, as an example, if you tell somebody you're going to do something, do it. Miss Jones, if it's okay with you, I'm going to call you back at 3 o'clock today just to make sure you got the information that I was sending over to you. Is this a good number to reach you at 3 o'clock? Yes, sir, it is. Terrific. I really appreciate it. Listen, I'm not expecting you to have had the opportunity to look everything over in that period of time. I just want to make sure that it got to you. So it'll be a short conversation, but I really appreciate it. Thanks so much, and I'm looking forward to talking with you at 3 o'clock. So you hang up. Now, at 3 o'clock, if that phone doesn't ring, immediately she is now thinking, something is up with this guy. He said he was going to call me, and here it is, 3:05, and the phone hadn't rang. And at 3:20, you call. Hey, I'm really sorry, I got tied up. Now, that may be exactly what happened, but you didn't call her at 3. You see my point? One of the things that he says next, and this is it's a short paragraph. There's actually 2. He said, trust needs consistency. Can I count on you every time? Do you bring energy and effort every day or only on the days when you feel like it? Look, how many times have we talked to somebody on the phone and you just, it's like, man, they need that cup of coffee, right? It's, hi. Yeah, okay, I'll look. Who wants to talk to that person? Have energy. Hey, this is Jesse, Pioneer Realty. Or hey, this is Jesse with Rich Agent Coaching. Or hey, this is. That's the kind of energy. And it doesn't have to be over the top like, you've lost your mind or you're on some crazy psychedelic drug. I just mean you have to bring energy. Hey, this is Jesse with Pioneer Realty. And I was calling about the home I had noticed on our system. It showed up as an expired listing. And I was simply wondering, when do you plan on interviewing the right agent for the job of getting your home sold? Now, that was just an example, okay? Do you talk one way when I'm in front of you and the opposite when I'm not around? Trust me, that kind of stuff gets around. It really gets around. You don't know who I know. You don't know who they know. And you'd hate to be the person that acts one way. Or, look, I've been in a position where I'm talking to a prospective client, and the gentleman right out just came right out and said, well, I know I won't be using this real estate agent. Big name in my market. I won't be using him because I heard him saying something about me. We happened to be at a big event, and I overheard him talking about me to somebody else. Now, why would you do that? Number one, why would you do that? But in this case, that gentleman heard it firsthand himself. But it could have very easily have been that person may know the other person, and that word could have gotten back. So when I ask myself if I can trust you, your consistency will play a big part in my decision. Consistency, commitment, discipline, they're all together. And finally, trust needs proof. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you say you're going to be somewhere, get there. Show up and show up early. If I'm not 5 minutes early, I am late. And if you promise something, deliver it. I will be honest and tell you right up front, I think the biggest reason I got quite a few of the listings that I got was because I was not in front of that person's door. I mean, like maybe in their driveway 5 minutes early. I might have been on their street driving down to get to their home, but I called. I apologized for not being at their house. And I asked, well, I'll tell you what, I will role play with you. You pretend you're the person I'm supposed to be coming to meet with to list their home. Ring, ring, hello. Hey, hi, Mary. This is Jesse with Pioneer Realty. I really have to apologize to you. It's a little before 3 o'clock, but it looks like I'm going to probably be there at maybe 1 or 2 moments after 3. Look, I know your time is very valuable, and I just want to apologize. I'm on your street. I just haven't gotten there yet. Would it be better for us to reschedule, or do you still have a few extra moments for me? Every one of them paused for a moment and went, no, no, that's fine. You're on your way? I go, yeah, I'm actually on your street. I'm just not in front of your house. And, I figure if I'm not 3 to 5 minutes early, I'm late. So I just wanted to give you a call. I mean, I respect your time, and I'm not on time. So I just want to make sure you're okay. And every one of them said, that's fine. I mean, we'll be here. I know that in the back of their mind, whatever they thought of me, that went up quite a few notches. Not just 1 or 2, but a lot. So when I'm there and I'm asking the question of, will you list your home with me? They have absolutely no reason to say no at that point, because they know that they can trust me, that I'm committed, and that I'm going to do the right thing. That simple act. So I really hope you got something great out of this, and I'm hopeful that maybe those few little role plays were helpful for you. So listen, have an awesome day, a great week. Take some terrific listings, make some great sales, and if you happen to run into a scenario where people are seem like they're a little on the fence, right? You may feel free to tell them that you spoke with me and that I thought they should definitely choose you. Until next time, have an awesome day. Take care.